good though. So I just have that in the background so I see.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Open Table. Thanks for joining the stream. I'm Aaron, better known on BGA as webberaj. And today we're doing something a little bit different. I've got an open table game here. So the idea behind this is just sort of an open player, an all-player commentary. I've got a few people joining me today, and we've set up a training table, actually. So it's on training mode. We're going to be playing a base game on the base map. We are doing it by auction. We've got the mini expansions on and the landscapes off. The idea behind this game is really just sort of inspired by some of the content that Lumen has been putting out in the community. And so I just really got a lot from that content and wanted to try putting some out myself. So same kind of idea. So I'm going to be playing a game with 3 other players today, and we're just going to be doing our best to sort of talk openly about strategy, both ourselves, like why we're making certain moves, but I think the idea as well is for us to sort of comment on each other's plays too, and let other people know like what we think they should be doing or what little things they've been missing. So that's the idea for today's stream. So without further ado, I just want to introduce the other players today. So we've got DanyB joining us, we've got Mertz, and we've also got Logus. So welcome, guys.
What's up?
And
hey.
Just hoping also the chat, just let me know. This is my first time trying to like bring a Discord call into Streamlabs and stuff like that. So let me know like throughout the chat, like when you hear the other players talking and stuff, like how their volumes compare to mine. I do have a little bit of control over that, and I'm happy to sort of fiddle with it just to make sure that you can hear everyone. But sorry about that. I totally cut everyone off. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, fine. Pretty good.
Yeah, very good.
I think it'll be a fun table, so I'm happy to play.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's get over to the game board right now. I'm just going to start this up. So I do have already one person in the chat just asking why it's a training game, or why it's on training mode. And that's a good question. Just trying a few different things out here, but I think the idea is that like, as much as like most of us don't really care about ELO that much, I think there's a bit of a thought that everyone cares a little bit about ELO, whether we like to admit it or not. And so just a bit of experiment to see if it just helps people even that much more be helpful to one another. It also just makes it so that there's no time limitations. I mean, I think we'll want to try to keep this game to around 2 hours like a standard Terra Mystica game. But also there's no time limitation. So if for some reason we want to pause and really dissect something on someone's turn, like we're sort of free to do so without running the clock down. So I think that's sort of the idea behind it. It is my turn to pick first, but would one of you guys want to help break down the setup a little bit and let us know what you're thinking in terms of factions that might be good here? Who wants to jump in on that?
I can see swarming.
Everyone has thoughts.
Everyone has thoughts.
I'm just gonna say I can see swarming so much in this game if the stronghold bonus was in, but that one not being in, I don't know how it affects them.
It would be sweet with the stronghold bonus for swarmlings. I also kind of like witches here, especially if they could get priest in the first round. Like I know some people might go air 2 to get that bonus because we got double air cults in the beginning. I prefer to not go air 2. I feel like it kind of, you might struggle a little bit with victory points, and it's not as good as Fire 1 and Pure Econ, but it works when you got the double air cult bonus for witches. Nevertheless, I would prefer a priest and like maybe just like a standard Earth 1 if I could as witches.
Yeah.
Witches are good, yes, but this is an interesting setup for other reasons and for other factions as well. Fakirs is actually very good in this setup for 2 reasons. First, they usually like R2, when they can get a lot of rewards for R2, and they have double dwellings on the end, and Fakirs usually spends their priest at the end. Okay, so this could be an interesting setup for Fakirs, also because the ship VP tire is not in, so they don't have the disadvantage. With that said, it could also be interesting for dwarves, witches are not in. So you have to look at dwarves and think witches are probably going to be in here. So is dwarves good? I'm not sure. It's a risky pick, I would say.
I think what's cool about this setup also is that no matter like apart from fakirs and like apart from non-ship factions, let's say there's a good starting tile for everyone regardless of the order. Like if you start with the spade, you're happy. If you start with the priest, you're happy. some factions, if they start with temship, they're kind of happy as well. And if you start with
which is
worker,
fine.
yeah, and the worker power is also good as the first. So there's like no bad options. Like everyone should get a pretty decent opening, whether you're the first pick or the last pick, because the past styles aren't. There's like pretty good options for any faction in there. So I think that should influence, because now that means that the first faction actually has a lot more advantage comparatively, because they don't get a bad pass style. So I think that can play a bit.
Oh, that's a really good point, because people often will say that, like, usually the drawback to being in first seat, like, first seat's great because you tend to, if people are building around you, you get the most leech, because you're going to upgrade generally a structure to a trading post. That's what you want to do in the first round, so you get more leech. And the downside is usually you get sort of a less ideal bonus tile. But that's an interesting point that you make, that in this case it's not the case, unless you're a faction that can't really make much utility out of temp ship in first seat, and then you're sort of stuck with it. In which case it's that or call coins.
But then if you first pick a faction that can, if you predict that this is the one that's going to be left out, then you're, as a first pick, let's say mermaids or witches, then maybe you're setting yourself up to have you have information on where people will place as the first seat, and you have more reach in general. So maybe that's a way to think about which faction do I put first in the play, given that it's auction, right? And then you can play anything.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just toss in witches, just so someone else can have a chance to sort of think about it from there. I do like your points that you made, Danny, about the idea of, like, the reason partially I picked witches was because I was kind of convinced by the point you made about making sure that they have a pass tile in first seat. They're definitely a faction that if they get quote unquote stuck with temp ship, they're going to be pretty happy about that. So I think they're happy here. If they end up with worker power, that's totally fine. If they end up with a priest, that's amazing for them, although that's probably not apt to happen. So I think witches here are probably happy with temp ship or worker power in first seat.
As witches, I would like more temp ship and take a priest from power action to send it to cults.
Yeah, exactly. That's the pretty good option, because, like, it's interesting to say, because between temp ship and priest, temp ship gives you so much flexibility, and the priest, it's just the worst case, you convert 5 power for it, and that's the worst scenario, and it's still the ship is pretty good in the regrounds. It's just so good.
But I really like witches is a good option also because you have some internal scoring with your tiles, right? Because the trap is absolute garbage. Let's get through. The trap is absolute garbage.
It's not. Actually, Swarmlings could use that track.
Swarmlings is a decent track for Swarmlings.
Almost. Almost.
The round 4 is shit for Swarmlings, but the first 3 rounds are great.
Yep.
The last 2 are not bad at all if you're going Earth 1 Swarmlings.
Yeah, I could see Swarmlings make a game here, but it's tough without 1/6.
It's tough, yeah.
But I might put them in at the right position if they, for instance, I think that the best style for them is Priest here. Just draw Priest to Air and get a bunch of rewards.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty solid for
good.
Let me ask you this though, because I'm not a huge Swarmlings player. Like I like playing them, but they're certainly not a go-to faction for me that I go out of my way to pick. You mentioned like Earth 1 Swarmlings. Even with Earth 1, like how much of a downside is it still to have sort of back-to-back dwelling rounds with Swarmlings? Like, is that still kind of a downer for them, or is the idea that they're sort of okay with it because at least they're converting 5 resources to 4 points, and they have a ton of dwellings on their board when other people probably won't, and they will also probably have upgraded digs by then? Is that sort of the argument why round 5-6 dwelling scoring isn't terrible for them?
Yeah, the argument is it's twofold, right? One of them is that tournaments go usually tall and then wide, right? Their economy works first tall and then wide, and they have like 3 TPs, so you're gonna have a bunch of dwellings to place on those rounds. Other people will probably have something like 4 dwelling stops. Swans will probably play something like 6 dwellings in those 2 rounds,
right?
Without much trouble. Plus, the argument is actually that back-to-back is really bad for the other factions, right? Like, you place your 4 dwellings in those, you're kind of capped in what you can do.
Yeah.
With that said, I was listening to the argument for R2, And I'm worried about the 4 faction here, because someone's not gonna get Earth 1. And Earth 1 seems kind of relevant here.
Yeah.
And if Swarmlings are in there, the Swarmlings are probably the ones that won't get it. I mean, it's not 100% guarantee. You can always choose another favor as another faction than Swarmlings. You can go something else than Earth 1 as your first favor, but if Swarmlings are in there, they probably don't get Earth 1. So that whole scheme, that whole plan, maybe is not
right,
because it feels bad to convert 2 workers and 3 coins for 2 points, like for a dwelling, and especially since you're gonna have to dig, right? So it's 1 worker more. Like the amount of for most of your dwellings, you're gonna have to dig for them. So sometimes it's 1 worker, sometimes it's 2 workers. So
unless we also see giants in the game.
I don't think giants will do this. I think cultists might be interesting. Even with yellow cultists, because they basically win the cults, period, right?
Cultists are always
definitely
good.
solid here.
They're always
I
good.
just play cultists too much, so I'm like, I'm not gonna dominate them this time. Logus has been giving me shit about how often I play cultists as well.
The thing about cultists here is that it's always a gamble. I feel to go for that air spade, but since the round 2 is air, also it doesn't feel as bad to just go through air and missing out on the spade, because it's gonna be useful anyway. So I guess there's that.
I think it's unlikely that they wouldn't get there if they're, as long as they're at least willing to put a priest there or something. I mean, in 3rd seed, they're guaranteed. I feel the priest, unless we're getting like giants and 4th or something like that.
And if you don't get the priest, you get a spade. So
yeah,
that's fine.
Happy either way.
The thing is scary about cultists is that they get stranded in the east, and that depends, because I see green maybe with the temp ship they like to start on C4 and then go to E9 later. So that's the only contention I have with only problem I have with cultists.
Yeah, but you could go double tempo with cultists to ensure you get the air spade.
Yeah, but that's my point. If you have no neighbors on the east, how are you getting double tempo?
Yeah, it depends a little bit on what the 4 faction would be. I mean, unless it's red,
black. Black is fine.
There's a faction here actually that could do fine. Depends on the 4. It's called magicians, right? They also can go tall and then white.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they the second coast, and they could be the gold faction.
Right.
So it could be interesting here, especially if they get the priest.
And a town event round 3 is around perfect timing for them, I find.
Round 3, you usually get that town by round 3. Yeah.
If you want to sort of go the 2-key angle and try to be able to, score off some of the rewards.
But which is do they take E7? And if you take E7, then you lose Earth 1. So do you get enough compensation? I mean, Fakirs are in, so they're going to be threatening your reds. They're going to eat some of your map, and you're going to eat some of Fakir's map as well. So it's a tricky choice.
The thing, the thing I dislike most about red versus yellow is when it's nomads and when you're CM, because nomads can just afford to go E8 and just screw your whole plan. Like if I, but Fakirs, I don't see them. I don't see Fakirs going E8 just to screw with CM in this game. So.
And Aegis could have a plan here. Aegis could do the stronghold plan, but with Witches in, it's suicidal.
If you put CM, there's no way I'm putting NGs in that game. I can just tell you that right away, right now.
I mean, Aegis could do something very dirty here. Whenever Aegis are after Witches, they can start with temp ship and take G3 away. Take G3 and D4.
Yeah.
27.
G3 and what was the other hacks?
D4.
So how good is it? How good is a winning rush in this game? I'm not sure.
It's not. I think.
But I mean, in that fight, it's you get eaten off or you eat. You gotta prioritize your hexes. So I would do it if I were NGs. I think the plan that you just said.
I think you dig both. you take G3 and you make a tempo in E7. But where is the other dwelling though?
Who are you thinking, Logus?
Sorry.
It's okay. We're already experiencing the downsides of training mode, where I thought, where we don't have any clocks telling us to pick, is that this could just go on forever.
And also, G1 is interesting because with temp shifting you can hit E3 to get an A1 for cures and hit G2. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We have all options to continue to dissect this, because then we have to decide what everything's worth. So.
Yeah.
Internal scoring.
Yeah.
Darklings.
Internal scoring.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, so we've got a yellow faction, a green faction, and a black faction in. So far, everything is pretty nice. Are you gonna sandwich blue, sandwich brown, or?
Oh, seriously, what do you pick on this, right? I mean,
red, I guess.
Maybe. Swarmings, maybe. I don't know. So, I mean, Swarmings don't care that much about the sandwich, maybe.
Yeah. They can sometimes. I've played sandwich Swarmlings between Darklings and Witches, and I had the very, very unfortunate experience of Darklings going double east when I had.
Oh no! Yeah, okay, that was Arena, right?
No, it's Snellman.
Well then, yeah.
TM Tour, and I'm still winning the game by some miracle, and it's not a high division, so that's why it's like, what is it? I'm playing Division 5 right now. I just started with TM Tour, so I haven't played it much, but it was so uncomfortable. Like Witches grabbing a bunch of green hexes and like center, and Darklings threatening me in east, and I just like, ugh, I hate this. But they didn't do so well, and I'm still getting my 2 towns. So
I'm hesitating right now between dwarves or CM.
Dwarves or CM.
Those are my
Just options. Getting back to chat, there's a comment that this color wheel usually defaults to blue in 4th seat. There was previously an argument for dwarves, although I'm not sure if that argument still stands by that particular person, because we have had some additional factions selected. I don't know how long ago that was, but there was a point that's like, yeah, 2 rounds of cult workers. Someone mentioned round 4 on the trackle gives an influx of workers prior to building all those dwellings, which is helpful for swarmlings. I think the same argument could be made for dwarves here.
I think Swarmling's better than Mermaids. Like it's a shit track for Mermaids.
It's a shit track for Mermaids.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a really shit
it's
track.
really bad.
And no VP for ships.
No.
Yeah.
I think I want to.
I
think I want to see. I want to see.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping you.
I rarely do this, but I think I want for the educational purposes of this video. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Right.
Speaking of educational purpose, just like why it's a shit track for Mermaids is not just that the shipping VP tile is missing. Like the dwelling tile is there, that's good for them, but it's the stronghold sanctuary bonus rounds in 2 and 3. The dwellings are late, and they want their dwellings early on typically. Town round 3, they might be able to pull that off, but it's not like they usually rush that. TP round 1 is like equal for them as anyone else. So there's just nothing, and there's no blue cults. It's like it's all almost everything here is shit for Mermaids. I see nothing like, oh yeah, I want to play Mermaids here.
Right.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think that you're pretty spot on your.
I think we've thoroughly trashed Mermaids. Yeah.
They're a great faction otherwise, just not here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I've already overbid Darklings. Good stuff. Maybe not.
I'm looking at the Toon 2 from Snellman to provide some additional insight. And yeah, Darklings is at least minus 15, so which is can go ahead. The second, the faction now should be Witches.
Really?
Yeah, it should be Witches.
Why do you say that?
Because no one has incentive to take temp ship here.
Yeah, Witches will get temp ship, right? Unless someone really wants to screw them, they will get temp ship. They will get Earth 1.
And you can even have a plan where just you start double center, maybe, and you just build 2 hexes on G3 and C4, and maybe you don't do that, but because you don't want to give dwarves the E9. But
It's pretty close now between the factions.
Yeah.
I mean, with the current bid amounts.
There's one nasty thing dwarves can do though, because they start with a spade. They can first take G3 first action.
Yeah, but you spend 3 workers, so you can even do a tempo.
For dwarves to jump once in the first round.
You say it's not
if
unusual?
It's that important of a hex. I think
the problem with that, I think, is that if you hope to do that opening, that thing, you most likely need the 2 workers action, and Darklings are prone to take it from you, I think. Because if you just tunnel and you don't do a temple or other dwellings or such, I don't think that's pretty.
Also, you're in the 4th seat, so you are at the temple disadvantage, right? If the Darkling sees you do that, he takes the workers, his snap takes the workers, and then you're dead, and he just has
because you don't even have pressure on Earth 1 because you just that's a good point.
I think dwarves should either ditch connection or think on a way to maybe not place. How do you play dwarves here? I mean, you got a spade, and if we just do the shifting opening, at least E9 is open, right? You could theoretically connect to D5 or E8 and D6. You could look for that if we just wants to open C3 and F4.
I think an interesting thing that just popped to my head is Darklings start in C1 and have incentive to take them ship. I mean, that just popped into my head.
They could.
It's an interesting point.
They could.
Why wouldn't witches start E9 though if dwarves go F6?
Yeah, because you're not sure you're gonna get the spade. I'm not sure. I mean, fakirs don't need Earth1. That's the beauty of fakirs here. They don't need Earth1, actually. Fakirs can have a good game with Air2 only. And because they have enough internal scoring. But I'm leaning towards either dwarves or witches for the reason that the cultists are open, right? These should be considered for these 2 factions. The cultists are completely wide open.
That's a good point.
I wonder if fakirs take the cult step bonus tile just to get the 2/4 on air with air 2 without investing a priest. I wonder if that's viable instead of taking like a priest or the spade or the 3-power worker or whatever.
Fakirs can start something like the Bond 2, right?
Yeah, the 4 coins and cult step. Like if you have a choice between that and say worker power, maybe in that scenario the cult step is pretty.
It depends on Darklings. If Darklings is at E5, you have to take the power and single spade E6 as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
How do you feel about fakirs versus dwarves here?
I think with fakirs, it's like one thing I was looking at with fakirs is trying to understand sort of early leech. Until you guys mentioned Darklings possibly starting on C1, I was immediately kind of concerned about. Like a lot of it's well, what am I talking about? I guess they're going to get a neighbor probably with witches on F3, F4 anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I talking about?
They get 1 neighbor, but it would be beautiful to get 2 neighbors.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think their game improves quite a bit if Darklings start on C1. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
I mean, they might have a bit of an issue chasing Darklings to E2, but
I guess whether they start on E5 or C1, the Darklings, I think you have there's 1 town that's gone, right? If they start on C1, you probably don't get the D3 town, and if they start center, you probably don't get the center town.
Right.
But just getting a neighbor is so good. Let's see.
Right. This always goes there.
This start is the obvious. We all knew about this, right? The question is what happens now.
So there was a question in the chat I just want to get back to. Ryan says dwarves with tunneling doesn't really need Earth 1, do they? Plus they can just get the spade and possibly double spade. So the idea that they're going to pick the bonus tile first, they'll probably grab the spade bonus tile. Possibly they get action 6. How important is Earth 1 to me as dwarves here right now?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Is it important? I mean, dwarves can survive with Earth 2. As same as Fakirs can survive with Air 2, dwarves
Yeah.
can survive with Earth 2. The question is, if you take Earth 1 on this and take it away from another faction, that's relevant, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the fact that you have it; it's the fact that someone else doesn't.
Which is also, I think, there's not enough. Like there might be enough like workers in the cults if you angle your plan that way to support doing a lot of tunnels or digging or dig bombing or something like that. So that's interesting to consider.
Yeah.
Like there's two rounds of workers, but it's kind of hard to go up the air cult as early as round 2 as dwarves.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm considering B5 here as Darklings.
Oh.
I think that B5, B4, those two hexes are pretty important. Witches want B5 oftentimes. Fakirs certainly want B4. I do wonder whether Fakirs would just start B4.
I would seriously consider that. I would seriously consider, because then I block you. I restrict your expansion a lot. I get
maybe I start C4 as well.
Yeah. It's not, even if you do, I don't think it's necessarily bad, because if you have B5, you can still go like a delayed double east, and securing B5 means you have that connection tile for 3 shipping later.
And I guess you could sort of, as Darklings you could sort of play like a super tall game. Maybe you build a stronghold round 5. Round 4. I mean, I don't know, and you just score with your priests and such. Oh, I'm not sure that's super good, but maybe
round 4 is too early. You don't have enough.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure you don't have enough workers.
Like you can go like an E5 kind of thing. I think you still maybe you don't connect actually, because you got H4 will probably be blocked by witches. Fakirs probably get I7, so you probably don't connect south. And north you won't connect either, I think, if you start over at E5. So the only way you really connect here is B5 or some kind of like double east where you get G6. I have mixed feelings about double east.
I guess the question I have, Mertz, is that if you start B5, I mean, it connects, but what are you going to do with that dwelling? If yellow's in the game and starts B4, I mean, you can connect easy enough with one dwelling to F5, but like, where's your expansion from there?
That's one of the tougher things, yeah. With starting with B5, the only thing it really does is help a connection. You might end up...
I think it's great with green in the game when yellow's not, because it messes up green a little bit, sort of. I mean, they can usually still form a town, sort of A10, A11, and one of the reds and a bridge or whatever. Like they can figure it out, but it's a good bit annoying for them. But of course, a single 2 spade on B4 gets them a free hex, and sort of they can hit the north pretty easily, and they're probably going to get neighbors there, because even if green doesn't form a town, they probably are going to be on C4 at some point in the game. So I certainly love playing around with B5 when I'm playing a black faction when there's green in the game and no yellow. But it's really unclear here where Fakirs are going to want to go with their next one.
Like as I said, it's a pre-analysis game, so I think the correct decision, there are 2 decisions here. You have to decide whether you're going to connect. If you choose to not connect and go E5, then you can play for codes, because the codes are kind of open, right, with Fakirs. Witches will probably try to get one, and dwarves will probably try to get the other one, but Darkies can play codes because of the priests that they start with, right? They can get to 3 spots and can work. And since there are 2 stacked codes, you could work on that. I don't know how much of a viable plan that is, especially because you are stimulated to incentivize to make dwellings in the last rounds. And if you're going to make dwellings, you probably want to connect, right? So I don't know how much viable plan that is. But as Fakirs players, I'll tell you, if you don't go E5, that's really good for me. That's like too good sometimes for Fakirs, if there's no pressure for the bound.
I kind of, I mean, if you don't go E5 and you don't go C1, I mean that's when it's really good for Fakirs, I think, because if you go C1 as Darkling, sorry, then Fakirs just get cut off the eastern town instead of the center town. So I mean, in terms of
I disagree. I disagree. I'm sorry, I have to disagree. If darkness don't go C1, if darkness don't go C1, why would factors go D3? I would rather go G4 or B4, anything that can get me the north, but I need to get some.
There's no neighbors in the west. True.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make a town there. I would rather go G4 and try to open double temple. But
maybe I start F2 as witches, but yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Maybe it's like E5 better than what double east.
Don't know.
Yeah, I feel like E5, B5, and E10 are the only like proper. I don't like C1 here.
The good thing about E5 is you're probably getting on that early leech, probably more so than any other place. That's another aspect.
I'd say it's the safest choice, so I'm gonna place that there. I think B5 with Fakir's almost undoubtedly going B4 is kind of meh for them.
I hate this decision for me because now I have to look at the D3 because if I lose E6, if I let darkness take E6, then I go D3. The darkness risk the F1 here to take E6? That's a question. But if I let them take E6, they will eventually give me a neighbor on E4, so I can have that down the west.
Right.
Yeah, because exactly, because Darklings probably want to do their temple at E5 and then their sanctuary at E5 as well, and go for the round 3 temple in the center. That's how I would play it as Darklings, but
But in order to do that, you'd need to secure E6. So, Danny, would you give up Earth 1 and dig E6 first turn?
In that game, I think so, because the track lines up super nicely if you do that. Because you can get otherwise you cannot hit the round 3 town. If you don't get Earth 1, if you rush Earth 1, maybe you cannot pull off the sanctuary round 2. Sanctuary round 2 is pretty easier when you have an econ favor.
Right.
And so it's unclear how much of a cost the sanctuary comes round 2 if you don't have an econ favor.
Fair enough. And if you miss the sanctuary round 2 and the town round 3, you're owed 10 points. So
that's 10 points of the tracks, and at no cost to your economy that much. Right. So I think and then that option also entails a tall early strategy and expanding after, which is what the track kind of tells you to do as well. So I think all things considered, it's not that bad.
Yeah, as for curious, now that I'm considering that, I'm thinking, oh, fuck, I'm screwed. I hate that. That is always start with 5, and you as for curious, you always get fucked. But I'm considering, I can probably have a power tile to take E6, right? Unless darkness takes the power tile to prevent that from happening.
Yeah. I think
I hope Mr. Pickles' kid isn't watching this stream, because there's a lot of colorful language. I'm just sort of joking. I don't imagine any children are watching, but
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm in a bad position right now because
C1 would have been good for Darklings as well as Fakirs. I think C1 was the best of both worlds for both of these factions, because Darklings can still do their plan of hitting a town round 3, because now they have like 4 hexes, which is less constraining.
I might have been Oh well. What happened to G4 here? I thought you were going to build a temple and just let it hang out there.
I'm considering that, but I'm gonna. I'm thinking about a stupid plan where I actually make the stronghold in round 4.
The stupid plan involving a stronghold sounds good.
Well, Logis, if you go D3 and you let Darklings take the center, it's not that as bad for you, because, like you said, you have a neighbor.
I want to open double temple. That's the thing.
Okay, gotcha. You're greedy.
I need to go E8 or G4.
Yeah, it's either E8 or G4. I think I like E8 a bit better, because then I can do D6 before, right, and start heading to the north, and I get some leech. And I think dwarves should upgrade A7 because their SA town is most likely there, right?
But how do you do 2 temples? Like you have to take the 2 workers action. Like there's no.
I have the temple because I'm before darkness. So if he digs E6, I just take it.
Yeah,
Against
yeah, I
against
guess.
the Warriors. If he doesn't dig, then well, I get E6 probably because of the leech.
Hmm. Yeah, given that you have a power tap.
Yeah.
So you're giving up on reaching for you're gonna
No,
spade
no, 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 no.
basically.
I'm assuming that by then I will have enough power if I have these two positions, right?
Okay.
But
Okay.
So
then you
Ranier's in the
could
chat.
spin.
He agrees double tempo looks quite good for you. I have another comment of Paul's that says that the only problem they see with double tempo is not sure how you ever town.
Oh, that's why I discussed the stronghold in round 4, so I can get the range to stronghold.
Right. So this is the bad line involving a stronghold round 4 and never towning.
Yeah.
So guys, what do you think about E9 or like C3 or C4 here? I'm not sure.
I could eventually town if through the stronghold I reach D3 and I make the town there, but it's unlikely.
I like E9 simply because it shuts down dwarves and it protects one of your natural greens.
Yeah,
and so you can get to, especially if you get temp ship, you should be able to beat dwarves to C3.
To C3.
Yeah.
Depends, right? Are you spending dwellings? How do you get to C3 exactly?
With temp ship maybe, and maybe do like a cheeky opening, instead of a temp one.
Okay, you're not doing a temp one then.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just like trading post, get some dwellings up to C3 or something.
Yeah, I like that.
And then follow up with the stronghold round 2.
So I guess E9 though requires that you get single spade. If you're assuming that you want temp ship here and you want to spam out some dwellings, then you're going to need a single spade on C.
No. You can get a double spade. Oh, and that's bad for me. You should have said that before because.
Oh, you get double spade.
If he double spade, he gets D6, cutting my E8, right? He gets D6, C4, C3.
Oh, I wouldn't double spade D6 as witches, I think.
You would?
I would not. I would double spade H4 and C5 probably.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you neighbors on the north. Please don't take my hex.
I think H4 and C5.
I think E9 is better. But I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and so Darklings now have the choice between the priest and 3-power worker.
Yeah.
And honestly, like typically I jump on priest as Darklings, but unless I get the 2-worker action, I'm not loving it because I don't like the cults here for Darklings. Like I know some people like to throw cults.
Yeah, you don't get air.
You won't get the air spade unless you do like a weird air 2 thing. So it's
yeah,
and it only comes with one worker.
Getting that Earth Spade round 3 feels like shit for Darklings.
Yeah,
delay it that much. The only thing that would be like maybe you could throw 1 to fire, but the cult wards there are so late.
Yeah.
And so I'm not loving having 2 priests as Darklings here, unless I'm like prioritizing Act 3 and then I can get 2 dwellings out. If I just want a single dwelling out, then I prefer the 3-power 1 worker. If I want to basically opening with like Act 3 and forgoing Earth 1, and then I think I'd be digging E6 and probably G6, cutting dwarves up there and then the back, and getting myself access to E10. So those probably be the 2 places I dig if I go for a double priest Act 3 opening.
Yeah.
And so, question now is, which do I prefer? And I think that E6 is the leech. And I'm pretty sure I don't get Act 3 if I dig that first. Let me see. Is there any way that I get that? No, so I'm expecting dwarves to upgrade E7, which is F4. So I don't expect to be getting any leech in the first move. And because of that means I can't take Act 3 first. And so I'm gonna go ahead and
yeah. I mean, if you take the priest,
and Fakirs can kind of deny me by upgrading E8 first.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the 3 power 1 worker is safer.
I think so too. I would
Makes
do
a good
that
bit of
if
sense.
I were in your shoes as well, I think.
Question
So that's what we think there.
Question for her is priest or the bone chew? The code step in 4 points.
Yeah.
The priest is a bit more flexible in terms that I can just send the priest to air and just do a single tempo, and maybe if there are spades, I can take them.
I would assume the priest is better here.
Then it's great with the cult step because then you go up there.
Yeah. And also, this is a bit coin short. I'm not happy because there is no coins in the codes. There are only these.
Yeah.
Coins.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I want a coin.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, now I have it.
Yeah, it's not every day you see both Tempship and Priest coming back to first seat. That this is.
Yeah, it's just Fakirs usually can do this opening with for Earth Spade or for Air Spade.
Yeah.
With Ponchu.
I think
enough.
The ship is
wow, it's amazing. Priest doesn't get taken.
I think I would have gone Priest there, because it's not like a dwelling round.
The way I see it is, if I want a Priest, I could still take it, and it costs me 3 power, which is twice the amount of income power the temp ship gives me, approximately. But the temp ship gives me the ability to put down, to save a spade, because you save 4 powers, because you can just put a dwelling without spading. So if you compare these two, then I think it's just, and there's no one that has an incentive to put a priest in air before me, because Darklings, you probably don't want to put a priest in air, as we've discussed. So so the difference, if I take a priest, then I have to take a spade, right? But if I take Tempship, I have to take a priest instead. That's how I reasoned it. And Tempship gives me power, so it costs me less. De facto, a priest costs less than a spade, but Tempship also gives me power. So it furthers the argument that it's less costly. I don't know if my logic is totally valid here, but.
So I'm interested in chat if anyone has any thoughts about, now that we've gone through starting placements, people have picked up bonus tiles and stuff like that, if what people's thoughts are on that, if they would have picked a different line, particularly for the way that the bonus tiles fell. You've got a ton of power, Danny.
Yeah.
So much power.
I can just take a priest and then double dig, which feels pretty good, I think.
That's not bad, actually.
Who do you guys feel like won the auction? That's an interesting question that came in after placements as the follow-up. And I think that's a really important question to ask. Like, auction, of course, happens before placements and before bonus tiles, and a lot of things can happen that you weren't necessarily expecting when you were bidding on factions. You might be bidding on factions assuming certain starting placements and what have you. So now that everyone's placed and taken their bonus tiles, who do you think's what got the best deal in the auction here?
I think Witches.
Witches, yeah, I think Witches.
Witches?
Yeah.
But I'm a terrible Witches player, which is why I wanted to play Witches.
Right.
Because I need to, especially in a tough matchup, like with green in the map, I mean. So I'm confident in my ability to muck this up. Let's just say that.
We believe in you.
All right.
I think I would have. I mean, it's not. You probably wouldn't get Earth 1, I guess, but ideally, the best case scenario for Dwarves is getting Earth 2 round 1 and then upgrading to Sanctuary round 2 to get Earth 1.
Yeah, but I think, no, Earth 1 wasn't a risk here. He had to take it now if he wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And to be perfectly honest, I'm a fairly boring Terra Mystica player. I tend to like grabbing some scoring favors if I can. I like the flexibility. I'm not entirely sold, and I don't want to get off into a huge tangent, but I'm not entirely sold on this idea of taking Earth 2 round 1 just to jump into a round 2 Sanctuary. Like, a round 2 Sanctuary doesn't... I don't know, I could be completely missing something here, but the thing about Dwarves is people talk about getting worker production, and a round 2 Sanctuary, sure, it's a big building event, but basically what it looks like you're doing is you're tossing a lot of your early econ just to score 5 points. And most sort of Terra Mystica strategy kind of suggests that, like, early on you want to, as much as possible, like, focus on building your economy out and focus on scoring points later. And building a round 2 Sanctuary, I don't know, it just seems like it's a little bit more tempting when there's also a big building bonus tile, and so it's 9 points, and the extra worker you get from taking Earth 2 plus the 2 from the bonus tile is 3 of the 4 workers you need. But in this case, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, intuitively I kind of feel like building it in round 4 or possibly round 3 makes a little bit more sense.
I think it depends. The cool thing about a sanctuary is that it comes with workers, with cults, which kind of makes up for the fact that you have to invest workers in it.
Right.
And so if you're able to like devise a game plan where you can use that to your advantage, maybe, but yeah, like so, maybe as dwarves, maybe you have a priest, you send it to air in the 3 spot, and then round 2 you have the cult cash bonus. With Air 2, you can get up to 6 and get 3 workers. Maybe that's worth.
Maybe.
But I don't
know. Just switching gears for a second. This is also a really lovely thing that's happened, is that the double spade has come back around to me.
Yeah.
So the question.
Yeah.
So the question is, what do I do with 2 spades? And I think I mean if I had lots of workers to tunnel here, I might do interesting things like try to grab G2 or jump up to D7 or do something fun.
I think you just go for G6.
I think I just go for G6 here. I build a dwelling there. I leave H6 open. Yeah. I then use my spade on D4, and I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. You're pretty happy that you still can get G6 here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that, I would grab that later if you didn't.
I was ranting on about round 2 sanctuaries with dwarves and sort of lost track of the sequence of this and didn't really realize. So I sort of lost how double dig came back to me. I guess it's because Danny, you gave up your initial tempo to take a priest, but if you gave it up again, then Earth 1 would have gone back to Darkling. So you sort of you took a priest action as opposed to 2 spades. Was that a mistake with
I valued the priest, I think, over the double spade here, and I valued Earth 1 over getting both of them. I think that was my reason. I might be wrong, but that was my reasoning.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You still get Act 5.
Yeah, exactly. And Act 5 still gets me plenty where I want to go. So there's no... And actually, Act 5 might be better here, because I can maybe yield enough power to convert to a worker and open temple for dwellings. So maybe Act 5 is better here for me than Act 6.
I think you want one of the dwellings at G3 probably, just so you have somewhere to place that cult spade.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Danny wants to leave G3 open so that I can dig it next round, personally, but it's just me. What do I know?
I still think that leaving double spade for any other faction was a mistake. I think you should have taken double spade and maybe dug H4 and C5, so you can get
H4 and C5. Yeah. Well, that was the plan if I take double dig, but maybe it was too selfish of me to think.
Well, I mean, the thing is that H4 isn't under threat. You're still going to be able to get on G3 this turn with temp ship, and single dig gets you to C5. I mean, of course, a single spade is a lot less efficient of a power action than a double dig, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's only one place I can dig. I guess I just give Mertz more power. It's not really anything I can do about it. And you're probably building a sanctuary next turn. All right, we'll just we'll just be friends here.
I'm probably gonna go water 1 at that point, and I think my plan here is going to be to get Act 3, next round and get the sanctuary and build E4, and then double dig D3 round 3 for the town.
Yeah, something like that.
Just catching up on chat quickly, back to the SA discussion, and then I'll leave it. I promise. I'll not talk about dwarf sanctuaries until later on in the game, and I build it begrudgingly. Rainer says, completely agree with you, Weber, especially in a game without the 2-worker pass tile. I don't like early SA on dwarves. Honestly, I kind of never build SA on dwarves when I'm allowed to. This does look like it may be an SA game, though, for your town. Yeah, I definitely agree. It's I don't think I'll be able to ignore it forever. Yeah, I totally agree, Ryan. Having 3 digs round 1 for dwarves is absolutely amazing. Would I burn my power for an extra dwelling? Not if it means going below 6 power tablets. But otherwise, I'd have to think about that. It depends on... What does it depend on? Mertz, I assume you're
crazy, like
passing
6 power
here.
for 2 workers.
I assume you're passing here, Mertz, for the
and
priest.
I think it's going to be the priest.
Which means I'm passing on to worker power, which I'm pretty happy about. Mertz, you will get first pick of the power actions. I'll have enough at that point. My power bowl will be 053. I'm not getting a more leech this round, which means I can't take a double spade, but you'll probably take coins, so I don't know what I'll do with my power. Take a single spade and tunnel somewhere.
More than coins, so I'm going for both.
Right. So, Ryan, you bring up an interesting point. Normally, if I can be a little extra greedy. Some people disagree with me on that. But I tend to like to burn it down a little bit and sort of get rid of most of my resources, unless I'm really gunning for like a double spade as engineers or something, and I really want to like save up for action 6. I do have a tendency to like to burn down a little bit more if I feel like I can just eke out a bit more stuff. If I can eke out a bit more stuff round 1. But in this case, it would I'd have to burn down to 5 tokens, and I don't think that's good. So I think I'm fine just to pass here, and I think I'm just going to grab worker power here.
I'm 1 power short of doing 5 dwellings. Well, 4 more dwellings. I mean, that would be so good.
That would be good indeed.
And would you do that, Danny? Would you spend 6 power for 2 workers?
Well, I'm lacking a coin right now to do that, but I would.
Oh, you have the power. What am I talking about? It's the coins. But you would. I guess the argument is that it gives you a ton of, like, you'd be getting the most utility out of temp ship, which there's value in using temp ship as much as you can while you have it.
What I was talking, I'm pretty sure I'm converting a power, 3 power for a worker.
Sure.
But I was considering the option of doing that twice, but I'm missing a coin to put out the 5th dwelling. I could
also protect C3, which you probably want for your town.
Yeah.
I mean, you got C2 as an alternative, but still, him getting to C3 would put pressure on C2 for that matter, because they don't mind getting it to get access to the greens.
Yeah.
Like A3, D1.
All of a sudden, it got very quiet. Danny.
1 more power.
Just one more.
Just 1 more power.
Yeah,
just 1 more.
Would have been perfect, which is opening.
If I took Air 2, it would have been possible, but you know.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been worth it though.
Yeah, Temple 5 dwellings is pretty dope.
Yeah, I do think their F1 is better here for witches.
Okay, so let's see if power actions are coming down next round. All right. I think I'm just taking dwelling points.
Yeah, it comes with 3 coins as opposed to 4 in occult step, so you're getting some points at the cost of 1 additional coin in occult step. Yes?
Yeah.
Which is, yeah.
So here I have this interesting decision of, do I try to get Act 4 and Act 3?
mean, it depends on what you're doing with your.
I don't think anyone else.
I think Fakirs would take Act 3 right away. I think
they would, yes, because they want to place G2 and I7. So yeah.
So you're not getting both. So which one?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want Act 3.
Really?
I can just, yeah, because I got the coins and I need workers to do what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I got Act 4 last round. I have Fire 1, and I need 2 more workers to get this Sanctuary and Dwelling out this round.
So I think I'm probably just taking coins here, although I'm just taking a quick look.
You have to keep in mind that I have X priests, right? I'm probably drawing either one to Earth for the spade.
Yeah.
One priest for the spade is pretty good. If you don't do that, or I'm going to fire.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to fire.
Yeah, if fire is still open, I'm actually sending my priest there.
Yeah,
so it depends on.
Yeah, I think if I take coin, I mean, I guess there's a possibility. Logus, do you have anywhere that you can put 2 spades? You can't really.
Not really. I could G1 actually if I want to make a town. If I can force a town with G1 and a bridge.
Coins might come around, says in chat.
Yeah, I can't use coins effectively here. Unless I first draw a priest or get some power somewhere to take it. Because I'm going to have to hard convert 3 power for a worker, right? To get my economy started on workers. So I can only take coins after I get at least a bit of power. And since I'm gaining a lot of power there too, I don't really want to burn right now.
So I think I'm going to send off a priest to Earth and see what comes back to me. If I can take 2 spades and use them this round, I think I probably will. And then I'll be super broke and I'll try to pass on coins or, I don't know, figure it out from there.
I think, yeah, Rainer's giving some good points there in the chat.
Priest to Earth looks more important for you than taking coins unless you plan on doing something expensive with them soon. And even if we don't get the coins, what does it matter? What are we doing with them? Not building a sanctuary. Definitely not doing that. Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean...
And so now I think I'm just completely staying out of cults. Like, yeah, I could place 1 to water. I know I'm getting water 1, but I don't think I win it, and it just doesn't seem worth placing it just to get like maybe second in cults. I'll just keep it the 2 victory points.
And I think the decision that if you I don't see anyone rushing water cult here, so I mean you could always maybe get the 3 spot next round. So kind of depends.
It's more that like I don't have much else to do with it unless I convert the 3 power for an extra worker to get another dwelling out, which does not feel.
You just work. Yeah. I guess you just dig with it. It's 2 points.
Yeah.
Right.
Like not this round, but maybe the next one. So yeah, do I want to give people leech now, or do I want to dig a dwelling first?
Actually, having 3 priests next round looks pretty good because then you can double dig D3 and it opens C1, and you can dig like F5 or H7. So like you can put
it's something I can do. That's probably what I'll end up doing. None of you are upgrading there. Do I want to get all that leech? Yeah. I'm gonna take first.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, if I'm going to take a power action now, then I'd have to burn 1 extra power token.
I mean, only if you're going for Act 6. I think you're going for Act 4.
I think I'm going to try to go for action 6 this round. It's just that much more efficient.
Really?
Yeah, I think you go for H8.
I mean, why not? I mean, the question is where, and so I think, sorry, Logus, you might have just been saying this. I think what I'm trying to...
H8?
Yeah.
You first place on H8, and then you go for double spade for C3 and I11.
I11.
Right?
Yeah.
That makes more sense. That makes sense to me.
The other thing that I was thinking about, and then sort of, it's not worth it, but I was trying to imagine, is there some world where I take or jump up to D7, and is that worth it? And the answer is like, well, no, not really, because there's no landscapes in this game.
I'm gonna kill myself here. You might want to actually dig G2, double dig G2, because that gives you G1 and I3. That's crazy. Completely.
That's a possibility.
That's actually a really good possibility.
What did you say? What?
G2. My yellow.
G2.
I'm leaving that hanging. But I shouldn't, right? Because I didn't have power.
Yeah. That's not bad at all, actually, for dwarves, because they can have I1 and I3 then.
Yeah, they can
I don't know. That seems really expensive this early. Like I can get. Yeah, I don't know. Is that really worth it?
I think you're better, but I think you're better off with the H8, because like if you go with the H8 plan, you can put down 3 dwellings, right?
And versus 2, so the difference is 3 versus 2 dwellings.
No,
they can't 1.
No,
Oh, of course, because I'd have to tunnel.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. It's true, guys. He places H8 and he places G2.
Yeah, it's 2 exactly. But you get 1 more if you don't go G2. That's what I was saying. Yeah. But the tunnels are looking scarce for you this game. So.
Yeah, but I mean, does he have the coins to place 3 dwellings? I know. I'm kind of murdering myself. So yeah, I think G2 is the right play here.
Yeah.
And this is G2 right away, but just like. Do we want to play this faster, like we're at round 2? And
yeah, we totally have to play this faster. I don't know. Why didn't I kill Logus, and we'll see what this does.
Yep. I like that.
I'm dead.
Hey, it's training mode, right?
This stream, why don't I kill Logus? Let's see what this does.
Yeah, let's see what killing Logus does.
I think I'm gonna quote that later.
And Ranier brings up an interesting point in chat. He says, you have so many spades if you're taking double dig. Those Earth Cult spades are going to go where? That's a great point. Normally what I do is I work really hard to get myself up the Earth Cult track, and then I'm like, oh shit, I have Cult spades coming in, and then I don't really know what to do with them, and I do something incredibly inefficient. It's normally what happens.
Well, now you'll have I10, and I12 open to you later. So
it's true, yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
Those two temples are looking so solitary, Logus.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, the previous fire was sure greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting you to build G2 and then I get the coins. That's how I planned this whole round, but it kind of backfired on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Ranier's on the G2 line as well. He says you have an easy answer now that you took G2. My argument was you should take G2 because you were going to have so many spades. Yeah, fair enough.
Oof, yeah.
There is the question now, which someone pointed out in chat, about C3 being left open, and that you know, it does come at a cost there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think Witches has the money, right?
To upgrade shipping or to pass back on the temp ship.
I think I'm considering it. I think I want to do that actually.
Okay.
I think that my reason.
I was gonna say you don't have to, right? Because my options now are to use my speed on D6 and give you a label on D4, so you don't really have to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my reasoning is that I'm not gonna do points the next round because I'm not forming a town. Like with my start, it's not really possible.
Right.
And so I'd rather take a slow round next round, and then do something else the fourth round. And I'm holding the dwelling points, right? And why not just max out my economy, since I know I'm not gonna be doing much of anything in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look,
Look,
friend.
Logus got a dwelling out.
Oh, hello, friend.
I would so hate to be Vicarious right now.
It's fine.
There it is.
There we go. There it is.
Someone mentioned that earlier, just before starting the stream, that we were going to hear a lot of that tonight.
I think dwarves are doing really well here. Witches too. I'm doing all right. I'm trying to think of who's doing best right now.
It's got to be
think it's
Danny.
witches.
Yeah, it's got to be
I think
witches here, eh?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've got a Grey Worker economy, you got Earth 1, you got Priest to Air, you're passing with for a bunch of points. Like, I don't know.
Seems reasonable.
You're going to have network points.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah. But yes, you made a good point, Mertz, just about trying to play a bit faster. I guess that is the downside of us playing in training mode and not having a clock going off as a visual cue, is that we do have a tendency to... yeah, we should be playing a bit faster.
I was debating there briefly for like temp ship to get up to B2 and also get power of Act 4, but I think just straight up points seems better. And I can still get, I'll eventually get the power for Act 4 as well, so there's no point in me rushing Act 4 next round.
Yeah.
And so that's why I opted for the 5 points instead.
Yeah, that's makes sense. Yeah.
So what am I doing next round? I'm sending a Priest to Earth. I'm out of coins. Pass for a second Priest. And do what with it? Send it to fire. I have definitely not founding a town, that's for sure.
I think Darklings are the only ones that are founding a town next round.
Yeah. I'm going to pass here, and am I going to take a worker and 2 coins? Maybe I'll get out of trading posts, which someone in chat will hate me for, and pass for some points. That doesn't seem fantastic. Might be kind of a quick round. Save my power. Send a Priest to Earth. Sure. Someone can yell at me for doing this.
Yeah, all this seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you said you're building 1 trading post next round, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm...
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that comes to mind. Like, what else have I got? I need to send a Priest to Earth. My Cult Spades are going on.
I7, not 12.
Pardon?
I7, I12.
I11, I12.
Oh yeah. I don't know why I was saying.
Yeah, I'll just take out another Fakir's Hex. No, I can't tunnel with Cult Spades.
Yeah, not much that I really care about to rush this round, but on the weirdest off chance that Logus wants to go F5.
Oh yeah, I was looking at F5.
Yeah, on the off chance that he's going there, I'm gonna take that first.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think you worry too much. But okay, yeah, you took that. I was gonna comment that it's a bit tricky F5 for me because I don't get to use the Priest. I actually want to look for Oh no, never mind. I'm tripping up. I probably want Act 4 before and above everything, because if I'm going for a stronghold, I'm gonna need a shitload of points.
You don't want the 2 spades here?
How do I get the 2 spades? I mean, I want the 2 spades, but can I get the 2 spades? Oh, look at witches. They have no coins.
It's okay. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm super fine just passing this round and going back on the dwelling tile and just getting coins next round. I mean, that's.
I think you are, and I think I need a space a bit more. Or do I? Because
I definitely feel like I needed to protect F5 there, because otherwise my second town there in the east is pretty much dead.
It's compromised. Yeah.
I mean, you know, we know that Aaron is getting the I-11. Fakirus would take G4. You know, Aaron probably gets H6 as well, unless I want to spend 3 digs on it. And so, you know, I only have 3 hexes and my estate is somewhere else. So F5 felt critical to me.
Goodbye, yellow.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna miss you eventually.
So just reevaluating the board here and where people are at. I'm curious who people think are, like, who's in first place here? Who's doing the best? Who's doing the worst?
I think it's still, witches.
Witches?
The witches, yeah.
Yeah. If I had gotten Earth 1, I think I would have been competing with witches, but without it, I feel like they're ahead.
I don't know. It puts pressure on me because now if I don't come up ahead, I'm just gonna look like a terrible player.
Yeah, you are.
God damn it.
Let's see, what town do I want? So I think a lot of people might just go like build C1, but without Earth 1, I want to save as many dwellings as I can until the round 5. So I'm thinking of just upgrading TP at E5.
At where?
Reasonable,
at E5?
I guess.
Yeah.
E5, yeah. I mean, the only place I can get a cheap TP.
Yep.
And I
think
it's just priest town. I don't see any other town that'd be great for me.
Yeah, I guess you could try to make a statement in the cults, but I don't think that's really that's really your game plan here. Yeah.
Bit of a courtesy town there, so people can see what I took, building it behind a dwelling.
I think you can, if you hover over it, it pops out of the.
You can.
Yeah.
It's still nicer to be able to see at a glance. And then, after this, I'm either passing or going up, perhaps fire once, because I'll get a worker out of it later.
Now I'm questioning my plan. Because maybe I can get a town for the range on D7, D8, D6, A12.
D7, E8.
D7, E8. What would the other hexes be? Like B6?
B6 and A12. Bridging to the northwest.
Yeah.
Northeast side.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting Fakir sound. D7, D8, B6, and A12. I haven't seen that.
That's true. Also, the other town is E10, F7, G7. I can actually go down with that.
Yeah, true. That's really that's pretty good. I haven't thought of that because it's so unlucky that you get D7 as Fakirs, like usually.
Yeah.
You don't see that often.
Yeah, but I'm thinking...
Where was the other town location you mentioned, Logos? Like, if not the northeast?
I can go up to B6 and A12 with a bridge, or I can go down with E10 and F7.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but my economy is trash, so I think I have to stand around. I'm thinking about passing for the coins, but... if I don't, what's left for me? Not much. Because we know Aaron is passing for coins right now.
That I'm passing for coins?
Wait.
I don't have power.
Wait, what did you do with your power?
I didn't have enough for...
You build a TP?
Yeah, I built a trading post. I didn't think I had enough to take the coins action. Yeah. Well, unless they like burn down to 4 or something. I don't know, maybe the trading post was a mistake.
I think I'm out. I have so many sources, but I don't feel as I can do something better than just pass for another 7 or 8 points on the pass down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drawing
So 3 coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be too bad.
Yeah, and let's see. No, I can still get Act 4 if I pass here.
Yeah, you should pass, right?
I kinda want the TP pass style though.
Greedy.
Well,
you don't get X4 if you wait for that pass, right? Because as soon as Aaron passes, I probably pass.
Right.
I mean, I don't go for the TP. I leave the TP. I don't want that. I want coins.
I know. You're getting the spade if...
I think Aaron goes for the spade, no?
He's passing out right after me, that's true.
Yeah, I'm passing next move.
For the 3 power, like whether you want 2 coins to our worker, you'll take one of those. I'm guessing you might actually get take the shipping one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the shipping. It's up, but...
Hey, 2 coins, 3 power. That's a decent...
Yeah.
Well, that's almost a worker 3 power, so I guess that's almost okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm expecting... You know what? I think it's only like worth 2 points to me because I want to actually build another TP, a temple next round. So
I don't think you should. Yeah, I think you should pass for X4.
Yeah, I agree. And so most resources here...
I didn't see you were ready to pass there. I should have passed it for X4, I think. For the
I think Temship is good for you, Mertz, because you can kind of install a 3rd town on the B2, B3 area.
Yeah.
Pretty reliably, yeah.
Yeah, and then I won't have to upgrade shipping at all throughout the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
yeah, that's
I actually
nice.
like that. Because I'm not connecting. Like,
no.
It's theoretically possible, but I'm not seeing that happening. And so I'd rather just save myself the 4 coins and not bother with shipping.
Exactly. Yeah, this is not a ship game for Darklings, and the ship VP is not in there anyway. So like, there's not many ways you can get a return on that investment.
There's like no way you're leaving D5 open. So
B5, D5,
D5.
Oh, D5, right? Yeah,
would be a connection hex for me, but
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
the amount of workers I have is kind of ridiculous. So if I see you coming, I can just hard dig it right away.
Exactly.
I don't think I need it for my town though. It's only probably 2 towns, and the Sanctuary town is probably in the F4 area, and either go up the stretch on B5 and A10, and that's probably the plan. But
so really, that shipping was worth, what was it, like the 6 coins plus another 3 because I get Act 4. So that was a lot of coins grabbing the shipping top.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I want Water 1. That was a good.
So many workers, Danny. My goodness.
That's all I have.
I don't know if I actually should be taking that power, but meh, it's okay.
Agreed. Greed always wins.
It's really expensive, but gosh, I guess a sanctuary for water 1 and just greed points favors and have someone yell at me in chat.
If you don't, I'll take that. Yeah, 100% I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave myself a little bit. I don't think I'll be getting Act 4 next round. Not sure if I care about it.
You have a lot of coins.
Yeah. And I probably want to pass right after Danny anyways.
Probably, yeah.
So I'll say that 1 was enough, but not taking any more leech. Unless it's a 2 for 1.
Right.
Now the question for Vakiriki is Fire 1 or Air 1?
Is Fire 1 that helpful at this point? Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Is Fire 1 still that helpful at this point?
I mean, it's 6 coins, right? And I think I will need it because if I do get the range, I can contest network, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the axes are not connecting, the order are not connecting. That's a good point, actually. Do I need to care about network that much if I just get second for warranted? I'm warranted second at this point. I still... it's dwellings, and I got Earth 1. I think I would rather boost my economy to ensure more dwellings than get something like, 8 points?
Because because the tricky aspect with Fakirs is you kind of need your power for digs, usually, so...
Yeah, and if I want to make a town, I can also do Stronghold. That's the thing. I actually have enough resources to do Stronghold here.
I would think you would go for Stronghold because it's a Stronghold round, and you... Like, when are you going to get the range to enjoy the dwelling rounds?
If you build a sanctuary here, it's never going to be part of a town, right?
Yeah, it will never.
Whereas a Stronghold would be.
The Stronghold is looking spicy here. I kind of like it.
I think Stronghold just because it's 2 dwelling rounds that are coming up.
Oh, man. I won't have dwellings to place in both rounds.
The thing is, if you go Stronghold, you only have 3 dwellings left, so that implies that you have to pull out at least 2 more DPs.
4 because of the DPs, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's not so bad then. Yeah. I guess.
Stronghold it is.
For me, so I'm happy.
Ran your comments in chat. Not sure that Sanctuary makes much sense just to take Fire 1. You're basically, the Fire 1 6 coins just pay for the Sanctuary, and so basically you're left with 4 workers for 5 points and a step on fire, which doesn't seem super great.
The step on fire gives me another worker because of the step on my past tile. So it's a worker entry.
Yeah. It's a worker into 2 power.
So I'm converting 3 workers into 5 points. That's not a bad conversion.
And with 2 power, yeah. The 2 power too.
So fair enough.
I did 2 power. Yeah.
It's not so bad. Yeah.
I'm probably just going for Air 1 next, and then slow digging it until Danny passes.
I can play that slow digging game as well.
I mean, you can. I think you want Act 4.
No, exactly. I don't wish to do so.
So I sent my priest to water. I'm not entirely sure if that was correct. It means my round's going to be a bit longer. I'm also not entirely sure what I'm doing with my spade. It looks like I'm going to have to tunnel to build somewhere just to use my spade, not on a dwelling round, which isn't terrible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just passing it right away. Like, I got to B2. That's the only thing I really needed to do this round.
Right.
And yeah, Air 1 is not worth missing out on that pass tile. And it also sets me up perfectly to pass again right after Danny for the TP for the last round.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's the perfect time for me to pass.
Right. So what am I doing with this spade?
I guess you could just tunnel somewhere.
Yeah, I can just tunnel and build somewhere. It's just like I'm not... If Logos wasn't building a stronghold here, there is a strange world where dwarves do connect by double digging I7.
I7. Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
You could
I mean, I can do it.
Turn it red.
Well,
you could turn it red. But,
yeah, I can turn it red, and I can hard dig it, and I can. Well, that's 5 workers to tunnel and hard dig, and then a bunch of power, and I'm burned below 6 to get it all to happen. Right?
Yeah.
Connection would be pretty big for you.
You know what? I'm gonna just. I'm not gonna sit here and spend. No, I'm not hard digging. I don't think I'm doing that. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tunnel and dig it, and we'll see if the Kirs don't really care, then I might just try to deal with it later. I don't really want a hard dig right now, and because I'd have to convert all my power down, and I don't super like that. So I'm just gonna do this with it, and as per usual, someone can yell at me in chat if they don't like it.
Players really care about I7 now.
I don't think they do that much.
They're just like, they want to cut you off.
I care about the large connecting though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it puts an interesting decision in Fakir's.
Yeah.
Fakir's
yeah. They still need to get the stronghold up to even get there,
which is costly.
Yeah. And so yeah, they're getting their stronghold up now because I mean they can't reach it anyways right now. And after that, I don't think they can afford to, dig it until next round.
They have a lot of until next round, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So much fire. It's 2 coins, I guess.
Yeah, it's your price.
Yeah.
I'm kind of amazed that Fakirs are tied for first place in pure VP for now.
Don't worry, that's not gonna last.
I know.
You have a solid game plan. I think it's fine. It's as to quote a great man. It's fine.
It's just that so many of their natural yellows are disappearing.
They're not disappearing. You have G4, G7. You dig E3, suddenly it opens up B1 and H1. That's enough, and A5 maybe, if they're lucky.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll leave them A5 though.
Probably not, but
yeah. So
and that's at least one.
They don't get B1. They don't get A5. They can get H1, G4, G7.
They don't get B1. You think?
Okay, so the argument for fire 1 is I'm converting 3 workers into 5 points. The argument for air 1 is I'm converting 4 workers and 6 coins into 8 points. Into 13 points actually. Ugh.
Oh, you're still not convinced on the stronghold? You're changing your mind?
I'm still not convinced on stronghold.
Who in chat is on team stronghold here?
The entire chat.
I want to see with a show of hands.
Yeah. It's because the sanctuary it's kind of awkward.
You need. I think you need range, and I don't.
Sorry. Let me just look at the chat. Okay.
Yep.
I have for Stronghold Science.
Stronghold Science. There it is. There it is. That's the answer. That's the
It's
answer.
training mode. Logus is training mode. Don't forget.
Yeah.
There's
Do
no.
it for
I know.
Do it for the science.
yeah. If not now, when?
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Fine.
and give me that 2 leech.
Competition leech.
I'm just playing for my leech. I don't care about your science. No, I'm kidding.
That's coming.
Did you need that to act for?
I didn't need it, no.
Oh,
But
no, you didn't need
it's
it,
just nice.
All right, well, I'm passing here.
Nice way of converting resources to points. Like you got Earth 1, Water 1, your witches with towns coming up. So
Yeah, it's looking decent.
I think you'll only get 2 towns though. Am I right?
Probably. There's no way I get 3 towns here.
Hmm.
But I think that's to be expected with green in the with gray. Sorry, in the game. I think it's highly likely that you get more than 2 towns as green with gray in the picture.
I've done it, but it's not typical.
Mertz, you want to toss over a few of those coins? Payback.
Yeah, we'd love it.
Please.
Please. What is this priest for? The one I assume that you're talking about, the one that I took on the pass. It's a good question. I want to try to get some cult points here. My argument was, and I just didn't want to belabor it too much, but like I need coins. I was expecting to get a certain amount of leech this turn, which I am, which is much obliged. The priest I want to send to the cults because I do want to get some cult points this game. Like I didn't go double temple. I only have 1 priest production. I do want to get some more priests to cults. It's still like the cults are fairly open for some like decent second places. And the argument was if I toss the priest to a cult, I would get 2 power back. So do you want a worker and 3 power in a coin, or a priest and 2 power in a coin? And so I don't know. I went with the priest. The end. That was the thought. So how long do I leave my connection open for?
Yeah, I can take it right now. Do I want to take it? Probably.
Probably.
Probably good to ensure second place connection for me.
And witches can't reach I9. I mean, darklings can always, use some of their million resources to do something annoying to me.
Yeah.
Will they?
Yeah, I could grab.
Honestly, I'm looking at E3 for my spade. E3 gets me B1 and H1, so it seems
E3 is just the best one for you, I think.
Yeah, I think I can actually just beat you on connection purely on resources.
Probably. Oh yeah.
I actually wonder if I should have just dug H6 instead of H7.
Mm-hmm.
The gray he just built on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, my argument here is I don't want to hard dig something if I can't guarantee connection. So, Logus, hard dig away or put your spade on it. My thought is now that I have H6.
No, I want this one is under threat.
Right. So now I'm strongly considering doing it because now I can secure connection, which is only have 1 ship. So now I probably hard dig and use all my workers. Still kind of sketchy.
Witches are gonna upgrade H4 then. They're just getting their TPs up for the spam duels next round.
It happens.
Yeah, there's really nothing, other than A5 later that I'm going to care about digging at this point now because I let H6 go. So I'll just go for the cheap dig at I10.
Makes sense. One reason to not go I10 is if you want to do some sweet 0 for 1 leeches. because you expect dwarves to
Yeah.
build on
Yeah.
I-11.
That'd be one reason for it.
You could just dig it, but yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I-10 is not a threat though, so yeah, there's no way dwarves are gonna double dig that.
No.
No.
I'm still thinking about digging I7, and I probably should just do it. Yeah, I'm cheap when it comes to stuff. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna go for B3 for now.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, yeah, Iron cannot dig I10 because then more just takes I11. Right?
Yeah.
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 And between the two of us, who cares more about exchanging spades?
Yep. Actually, I don't think dwarves cares that much at this point because they get a down at I12 anyway, so they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like, do they want to spend 2 spades for absolutely no reason?
Yeah, that's the point, right?
But I get the same amount of VP either way.
Yeah. Darkling's privilege.
That's a whole pile of resources right there. Really did a terrible job with the cults. Given that there were double worker bonuses, I didn't get a single worker off the cults. And I should be ashamed of myself. I mean, I got that priest to earth, which meant I needed to follow that up with a second priest so I could get 2 spades. I didn't open double temple. The fire cults. There was a point where I could have sent a single priest to fire for a single worker.
Yeah.
And I didn't, obviously. So, yeah, I don't know.
Gonna take that.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Ease my mind.
There's not much of a chance of me staying in the round long enough. Well, no, there's no chance that I pass behind Darklings or Witches here and get a points pass tile.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So, I'm leaving I9 open. You can upgrade ship and smash that if you want. That would be good fun. Which is sort of the downside to me digging I7 this round, is there wasn't really a way for me to secure connection unless I like even take a worker action, use all my power and my priests. Like I could take a worker action and then tunnel with it and convert a priest into power and use my last dwelling, which doesn't actually give me any extra economy, and then have no coins.
Yeah. I think you have to risk that I'm either going to dig your I9 or not. Well, I mean,
I can secure it now. If
totally up,
yeah.
If I'm really totally up, and I'm probably not gonna hit you on I9. I think I have more important things to do, maybe. But
really, even with 18 workers, I don't know. I think the thing is,
I don't have that many coins. I don't have that many coins, so I need to raise ships right now, which is
one ship.
I'd rather invest my coins into building CPs, which will give me more coins than just raising ships and hitting you on one.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. Logus passes. I can take coins next round.
I need to use my spade, honestly.
Yeah.
Although I might pass, honestly. I don't know at this point, because the 3 coins is the same as the 3 workers I get from the spade.
Don't you want to do... Don't you want to do your E3 spade this round?
Yeah, exactly. I think I do.
So just checking in again, who do you folks think is in the best position right now? All right, or is everyone still on Team Witches here? Danny.
I'm not on team.
I think everyone's on Team Witches except for you, Danny. I think you should get on Team Witches. Oh, we have one person on Team Dwarves. That's nice.
I should have sent a priest to the cults, I think, instead of
last round or
no, right now for the power management, so I don't lose anything.
I wonder if I can outlast you, Mertz, this round. Probably can.
Yeah, 18 workers.
If you hard dig I9 and decline build, you probably can.
I'm probably just throwing 6 workers at B5.
Oh yeah.
This round.
3 at a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ranier is saying witches are probably doing the best here, followed by dwarves, darklings, kind of unclear there, and Fakir's looking like they might be in last
have
spot.
80 points, and I have 50. They have 30 points over me. I mean, that's considerable, right?
That's gonna disappear. 2,000 that disappears.
You have a cult. You have fire cult, right?
You have air cult. You have air cult.
Yeah.
You have air cult. You have 2 towns. Yeah. You're gonna win network, right?
Probably not. Maybe. I think Fakirs can wiggle something. Maybe
can wiggle something, eh?
Maybe you can as well.
I don't know.
Dwarves can.
Dwarves can use priests to win cults in chat. Yeah, absolutely. And my plan is definitely. I mean, it's I can't delay indefinitely, but I'd love to. I mean, if I can win both water and earth, that's great. And then if I can get a second on another cult, I don't know, am I pushing myself too far to get 20 cult points and not 0 network? I think I'd be happy for myself, given that I've extracted a total of 2 points off the pass tiles. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get to pass for the coins, so you get to do something.
Yeah, I got the coins. I have a cult step
nice.
that'll actually probably be come in handy this game, to be honest. The cult coins, the cult bump that comes with that will actually probably be handy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably doing, I don't know, 2 more tunnels. Dwellings on I-11 and I-12. A trading post in the south for a town. Do I need all that for? Yeah, and then 2 trading posts. So I'll need to build 3 trading posts next round, which I have, and 4 dwellings and 2 tunnels. That sounds like a lot of workers that I don't have. I have 8, and I need 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need 14 workers, and I have 8.
Yeah.
And I get 4 from towns if I take worker towns, which
6 plus
probably
6
so.
plus
I don't know.
1.
So
yeah, you need 14 workers. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have 12 with my towns, so I'm short 4 workers, which is, I don't know, something.
Let the stalling games begin.
Yeah.
So I have a mind of like digging B5 to another color, like an unfriendly color, just to dig it back to gain an action, but it's probably not worth it.
So Logos, are you still shooting for a town here? or are your town dreams gone?
No. After Stronghold, my town dream is gone. So there is no town.
There's no town.
You ditch all your economy on Stronghold.
Yeah.
I can't agree with the Stronghold science here because it just kills your economy, and it's already a low coin game. I was already struggling for coins the entire game.
Yep.
Yeah, but what do you do? Like, if you don't do Stronghold, did you still do the Sanctuary last round? Or
Sanctuary for Air 1?
You also don't do the Sanctuary.
Probably a Sanctuary for Fire 1 and maybe a TP. Just leave the TP there so I can actually have some coin income. And then I dig for some of the... Because the digs, I had plenty of digs. I could just dig to make a town. Like, digging is not the issue here.
Yeah, you had good workers from the round 4 bonus too. So that...
Yeah, I had
kind of
plenty of
helps.
workers.
Yeah.
Fire 1 would mean I would have more power here in this round. Now I'm at the same spot I was before. I can't 1-5. I don't get the power, but I think 1 worker and 2 coins is still better than the priest.
You're gonna get what, 3 priests as income?
Yeah, it's 3 as income.
You can. Yeah, you can fly. I don't think you can fly more than 3 times, probably. So
I probably can, but is it worth it? Probably not. I think I want to beat people.
Yeah, the coins and power seems like it's sturdy.
He can't take the power because he's gonna.
Yeah, the power is not there. It's just
yeah, he already had full power income because of the fire cult.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Classic fire cult. Classic. Yeah.
Classic. I never pay attention to that.
Yeah. At this point in the game, it's hard to use it. It's hard to cycle your power correctly so that you can be empty enough to be able to use it again. I mean, sometimes it comes in handy, but yeah, more often than not, I find I end up not using all of it. So you end up getting like 2 or 3 power, and yeah, it's hard to.
Especially if you're at 8, like at 8 power.
Yeah, absolutely.
8 in the 8 or higher. It's like most likely if you want to use all of that power efficiently, you must have never burned powers during the game, probably.
Or also not have air 2. Not having air 2 helps to be able to get use the power off the fire cult. Yeah. Yeah. Logus, I'm just curious, in retrospect, do you think Fire 1 might have been a better econ favor here for Fakirs?
No, because I got the spade. Yeah, I mean, my spade got wasted, right?
Oh, yeah.
But that's the thing. The spade and G2 got wasted.
Let's assume you get G2. Let's assume you get G2.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like, assuming you get G2, do you still maintain that assuming your cult spade doesn't go to waste, do you still maintain that Air 2 is a better choice here?
Yeah, because I also got the early workers from Air 2.
Right.
Yeah, getting one spade and Turkers is kind of...
it compensates. That I was supposed to pass earlier in some rounds. Like
I think you were supposed to not greet the Fire Priest also round 2. But
yeah, for sure. Now in hindsight, of course, I was supposed to take G2 and leave Fire Code to someone else,
But to your credit, it was your idea, so you know it's kind of.
To my credit, I killed myself. It's okay. It's all fun and games until someone loses a knife.
So someone in chat is saying Logus maybe could have towned by digging F7, which is
I could
instead of E3.
I know. I commented that I could go either up or down with the town, and that was the plan original. But then people wanted Stronghold, and how could they not please the fans?
Fair enough. There was a lot of pressure on you.
Some years than them, but oh well, it's done. Here comes the points from DanyB.
One half of them.
But in retrospect now, I think that the town might be valued even now just because I can't use all the priests, but to get some coins back because they really needed the coins back. It's just that the resources for the town are so good. Which is why it's a bit tricky to put myself in positions where I can't get it all. Right?
Alright, fully back now. Playing on the phone for a bit.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm like almost 100% sure that Danny can outlast me.
Oh yeah.
You think?
But I'm just gonna do everything I want to do for the round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, keep going.
Also, like, I might force Danny into doing something he's not super excited about, so we'll see how it goes with the slow play.
Danny, how are you building your third town in the south, the F4s, like the sanctuary town? Are you gonna try to get out another?
I'm not sure.
Expensive trading post, another
sure.
dwelling, expensive double dig, fire 2, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm leaving that decision for next round.
Right.
Because I'm not sure how I should proceed about that.
Right.
This.
More defense here coming in chat back to the Fakir's Sanctuary. Is that all of these flights wouldn't have happened without it.
I had the spade. I could take a spade power action. They would have it. I would just spade for the fights.
But you wouldn't have been able to reach a lot of the hexes, I think, is the argument. If
G2, but I could spade for F7 and get to G7. I could spade for A7 and get to A5. Actually, Darkness would take A5 before I did that, but that puts additional pressure on Darkness.
Right.
I could spade for many of them.
Right.
And okay, maybe I don't spend the priest and I don't do the flights, but I do get the town, and then I can do the flights, right? If I just spade for E10 and F7 and play some TPs, and then I just fly on round 6 instead of flying all of them on round 5. Now I can only do like 2 flights, maybe 3.
So actually, I think I outlast witches.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, the two action. All right, that's fair enough.
He deserves it. Come on.
I'm not unhappy with that.
Oh, that leech came in happy at the end.
Let's go for, I don't know. Go for a spade, I guess.
So I got the choice between 1 point or no, that'd be 2 point. No, yeah, definitely the dwelling. I could have also upgraded a TP, but then I'm losing out on 2 victory points for what? 2 coins and 2 power, which I don't really need that badly.
Well, you're losing on 1 victory. On 1 victory point, right? Because you're gonna build that winning that next round as well.
No, it's 2 from the passing. So if I upgraded a TP, I'd have 2 fewer.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't sneak out another action. It's okay.
Yep. I really needed that though, because I have not much scoring potential.
Well, Darkness, what you're talking about? You're gonna make 2 towns.
Yeah, but like other than that, like I have no end game scoring.
That's overrated.
That is overrated.
If I was like ahead 20 points right now, but I am behind both Fakirs and Witches in current scoring, and I have less endgame scoring than both of you. And so that's why it's really bad. I'm pretty sure Witches win this hands down. unless something unexpected happens. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
no pressure. Yeah, no pressure then.
I feel like I'm fighting for second. But I'm not super optimistic about second either. We'll see. I haven't really done the math, but
can I do that or not? So that's 4. Plus 3. That's 7. That's 12. Yeah, it's fine.
do I care about blocking anyone?
If you block dwarves, can you beat them with the map connection?
I can't block his connection.
No.
I can just like block Gray Hex. That's it.
Yeah, which would be annoying because I mean the math is super tight for me to get out some trading posts and then tunnel and stuff. So it would.
Right. You don't have shipping. Yeah, no, you can block anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, taking a I-11.
You need to invest in ships before and then try to block someone that doesn't
Yeah.
seem
Ship is not worth it. Ship is not worth it. It's pointed
For sure.
Just works on getting high scoring towns.
Are you taking fire too here, Mertz?
I'm trying to calculate whether I need it.
Right.
So I can, easily get the 2 dwelling posts there. I do need.
You need some digs.
Yeah. If I don't do that, I would need additional digs, which I don't have, and so I do need to take, at the very least, a temple.
Yeah, for sure. But even
and
at that,
that
you'd
point,
need
it might as well just be fire too, I think.
Yeah. And in the north, you'd need an expensive trading post or another dwelling, if you didn't have fire too. Both of those seem very expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't...
another dwelling is easy to get, but I don't see how I get.
Right. Fair enough.
Fire should kind of cements your position. You're 4 points on fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think fire too, and it gets me a town faster as well.
Yep.
And
it means
it means also you can probably take higher scoring towns.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go with that plan. Do I want to keep the other question would be, do I just want to do a? Well, I can't do a dwelling actually on I-11 right now, but. Do I just want to fuck a little bit with dwarves?
Yeah, you do.
Do that to me. No, I'm just gonna rush the towns and fuck it.
4 for 3. I am short on resources this round, but I'm.
I don't think you're that short.
Yeah. That's an expensive free power worker conversion later on. So I'm gonna tunnel and secure connection finally, because I've probably waited long enough.
Well, I have something to say about that, because I can just take G1 from you.
Can take G1.
Yeah, because I have 2 ships.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with your 2 ships though, you could have taken I9. It's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about G1 opens up F2 for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking I would have prioritized that, but maybe in hindsight, blocking your connection would have been just better for me regardless.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Good point. But now I am gonna G1.
Makes sense. So now I definitely don't need a lot more liege, because I was trying to figure out how I would squeak out another tunnel and a dwelling, but... Rainier says, does it really matter how many hexes are dwarves really getting while still making towns? I think in response to taking G1. And yeah, I mean, that was the math I was trying to do, is like, if I take both worker towns and get a bit of leech and maybe use a priest in there was a world where I would get a dwelling on G11. This would be my last move, would be to extend my network by 1, get one final tunnel.
Yeah, you don't have your stronghold up, so the tunnels are actually quite costly.
The tunnels
yeah,
are quite costly.
That's
so, yeah. So I think it was possible, but it might have been like it just would have probably required some leech that I wouldn't have wanted to take. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't really know where. Oh, I don't have any dwellings left on the board this one. Cool. So who am I giving a leech to? I don't know. Let's give. Well, where am I founding a town the quickest? I want to secure up here. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I just give. I guess I just build this. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. That makes sense. Okay. So you can still take I-11 if you want.
I know, and I might just do that now.
Which I think means that. Do I want fire too then? Kind of would need it.
Which is a good reason for me to do that.
4 for 3. Yeah.
I want fire too. I guess I do. I guess there's no way I'm doing an expensive TP.
Stronghold.
Stronghold. Oh, I did not think of the stronghold.
It's a quick dwelling afterwards, right?
That is interesting. That is only 3 workers and 4 coins, right? So it's the same cost as a temple, basically.
Oh, wow. That is interesting.
But fire 2 is maybe 2 points. Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
I think I like the stronghold. Yeah. Yeah, and I can just fly with that dwelling, and it's okay if it's not connected. At least it's still 2 points. So I can just maybe do stronghold TP, build a dwelling, and fly somewhere. Maybe that's possible.
Do you want to fly to I-11? I can open that up for you.
That'll help your network.
I'll try the stronghold actually. I think it makes sense. But is it better than fire 2 then? That's the thing.
Well, I think the thing is if Mertz takes I-11, then I'm forced to take fire 2 as well. So you and I are back to just 1 behind Mertz. Unless, yeah. Well, no unless. That's all correct.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think I like the... But it's the same cost, right? Whether I go a temple... Whether I do a temple or a stronghold, because a temple... The temple is 3 workers and 7 coins with the dwellings. And the stronghold is 3 workers and 4... Oh no, so it's definitely cheaper for the stronghold.
Well, the stronghold is a coin. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, 5, 6, 7.
It's 3 if you take into account the dwelling plus a stronghold, it's actually 4 workers and 4 coins, right? 4 workers and 6 coins. Sorry, because you just get the free dwelling. Then a temple is 3 workers and 7 coins.
You save a coin at the cost of a worker.
Yeah, so I think I prefer fire 2 then.
Yeah, fire 2 because it gets you the VP. That's fire, right?
The only advantage of the stronghold is being able to fly somewhere and get 2 more VPs. 4 more.
No,
so
I mean
you'll. Better, maybe.
Well, but with the temple, you're still going to build on like what, F2, with your last dwelling.
Yeah, but after, there's a possibility that I go stronghold, TP, and build 2 dwellings with the stronghold. But if I go temple, I'm not sure I have enough resources to dig somewhere. But maybe I do. So I think I'll go temple actually. And take this. And I think I'll take this.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
For me, I think I'm just gonna single dig that one. just to hurt Dwarves a little bit, because I do think we're fighting for some position. They might be way ahead of me, I don't know, but...
Also, I need to upgrade ships, so that the whole plan of building a TP is out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, I'm just going to grab Fire 2. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird, but yeah.
I think I'm pretty good on resources, but let me just think quickly what I want to do.
Oh, you want a coin for a VP? Who doesn't want a coin for a VP?
Like, I want 2 trading posts, and I have... Yeah...
Enough for 2 trading posts?
I have exactly enough to get 2 more trading posts, and I would need to do twice that.
Yeah.
So get another 2 for 1 to get another duel out. So I'm not getting any more dwellings out. I'm just gonna get 2 more trading posts out. Because without Earth 1, it's not worth it really for me. Like, the trading posts are just way more valuable, especially when I got Water 1, I got Air 1, and I'm on the TP tile, so I'm gonna do 2 more TPs here.
Right.
I wanted that priest.
I know you did.
I was doing the math if dwelling plus ship is 7 resources, so yeah. God dang it. I should have taken that before. There was no rush for my time. Thanks. It's a shame I couldn't get that pass tile. Shit. Ooh.
The issue with the priest is I wanted it specifically for one thing, but I can't, unfortunately.
What is that thing? I'm curious.
I want to fly,
Yeah.
but I can't fly. Because your best move is to actually, if I dig something, just and leave it open, your best move is actually to take it away.
Yeah. And I still have enough resources to upgrade ships. So.
I just did a weird thing. I should have TP'd. Oh, you go for that. Never mind. But yeah, I should have TP'd the other spot to secure a town I care about.
What other spot?
I haven't gotten my 3rd town yet, so I should have TP'd over in the east to get the town first.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I was too focused on like denying Leech and shit.
Leech is everywhere. There's no place safe from him.
Sorry, Mertz, why does it matter that you... I mean, you still have enough stuff to found your town.
Yeah, no, I meant, like, what if you grab a town I care about, which is really the last cult town.
Right.
That would have been bad.
Yeah. And I would have preferred the cult town here, but I actually literally need these 2 workers to found the other town, so I expect that you'll follow by taking the cult town, in which case I'll be left with probably the other worker town.
I definitely want to get the cult town now.
Yeah.
There is no escape, Rogus.
There is no escape. I have to. Ah, man, that sucks. But yeah, the priest will be some points.
I guess at least you tie me on that. Oh no, you don't tie me. Yeah, you tie me on that.
Yeah, I tie you on that. That's why I can't leave it open, because your best will be sealed away.
Yeah, exactly.
But you win anyway.
Well, you're not so far. I mean, we both have 0 passing points. We have similar end game points, and we both have a cult. And we both have scraps in the other cult. So you're not that far away, I think.
I am far away, but I'm still not winning. So Not enough. No,
Are we sure Darklings aren't
winning?
like?
Yeah,
Winning?
maybe.
No, I don't see it.
You have 8 points passing or 12? Do you have air one? Yeah, you have 12 points passing. Yeah, and you have okay cults. I mean, you have a second place.
But like, I'm getting nothing from that word. I
Yeah,
think
and dwarves are doing reasonably well as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's closer than what we all thought, I think.
It was a fair auction, right?
Did someone turn a priest into a worker? Comment in chat. Minor thing, but turning priests into workers makes taking the priest tile over worker power last round sad. Oh, I see. Forgot I had fire too.
This priest is tricky actually. It seems simple because I should just tie witches on something, but there's a real risk that darkness draw 2 to the fire cult, and then I'm hurt by that by a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I wonder if darkness draws to fire, does dwarves just don't draw to fire as well to pass witches there? Because dwarves have a lot of priests.
I do have a lot of priests.
You can protect water easily and still get some from fire.
Yeah, so Darklings and I can basically trade priests on water. And no one else really cares about that. So I might get away with with winning the water cult with not either of us sending a priest to it, which is kind of bizarre. I do have a pocket cult step, so my plan here is to try to definitely next action get a priest to fire and try to beat Darklings on fire. So it really depends. Yeah, like, so if you don't send one to fire, right? Well, either way, if you don't send one here, then Darklings possibly sends one to fire. I respond and then use my cult step to tie.
Darklings could send to air, but air I don't care so much. I think.
I mean, I can still send. I can do 3 steps up fire.
It's not worth it though for you to use a priest as a single step because you only win a point. No, because you'd only win a point.
On fire you win 2. Yeah, I think Mertz is right. It's a 2 swing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, if you were to get both priests to fire, but you wouldn't die. He wouldn't either way. I guess is my point.
Yeah, but I think Mertz is ahead of me. He gets 12, 117, and then he probably is gonna get some cold points. Well, let's see.
Yeah, him going 12 points passing. Well, 8 points because of the tile. I could stall him, but the 2 workers action was well done, well played.
Thank you. So yeah, dwarves beat me at water no matter what.
Yeah. I think you send a priest to fire here.
I'm not sure about that because it's only versus you.
Yeah. Ouch. On my own stream
was really.
It's only versus you, Aaron. Like no one cares.
But you might be right about that, simply because you're guaranteed to do it. Like you're guaranteed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pass you. I'll pass you on fire. So it's literally 2 points less for you. So
that's 2 points for me either way, and so against the table,
and 2 power.
It might be.
Yeah.
2 power won't matter for me, but the 2
out of principle.
Priest to fire. I think
be
it's
like
correct here.
2 victory points between the 2 of us.
Yes.
So yeah, I might as well.
I mean, I'm happy to send a priest to fire if you really don't want to. We can trade on water if that would make things, or you could send it to air and take more points away from Logus.
But that was a bot comment. That's a mistake by you.
No, because that's 1 point less for me versus the rest of the table.
Yeah, I don't think that was a mistake, Logan.
It's a mistake. Error because you want Aaron to pass witches on fire, right?
Oh,
you want him to harm witches.
I mean, he can still do that. He can
still win.
So he can still do a cult step on fire and a single priest there. What else is he gonna do with them?
I don't know.
Want to harm witches. What kind of comment is that?
I mean, you are in the lead, right? You will get network points. You have decent codes.
I think Mertz is up there. Honestly, no. I'm not doing the math precisely,
I
but
mean, no. The issue is Mertz gets 0 network, right? He gets 12 points passive. Okay, he's at 117. But if you count network, you are already 12 ahead of him. Then compare the codes. You are still ahead of Mertz by no. Actually, 15 from network because we are tied. But okay, you get
Mertz has what 9 cult points right now, and I have 12, 14. 14.
Yeah, you have enough.
13, I guess. Yeah, I'm pretty sure dwarves are.
This is going to be one of the cheapest water, cult wins I've seen.
I mean, we can trade priests here. It does seem a little wrong, but
Yeah, it almost makes me wish I sent that three priest earlier, but then like you could still could have passed me, so
yeah,
doesn't matter. So yeah, I think I just dig for 2 points.
So Mert's at 119. I'm at 111. The delta between his passing points and my network win is 15. So that puts me at +3. Yeah, I think it's enough.
Yeah, and Aaron here passes me on air as well.
Yeah, I guess I pass you on air, and then it doesn't matter if I tie. I don't know who's in the lead here. I should be counting this of whether I use a priest to tie Logos or tie witches. I don't really know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not really sure, but I'm not going to sit here and fuss over it too much.
It's not the purpose of the game to do all that much math here, I suppose.
No.
We need to do some interesting streaming, right? For your sake.
I think I just send a priest to air or fire, maybe for the power of the principle. I don't really know. And then I think I upgrade digs. It's probably my best point conversion. I could also build a trading post, but digs is worth more, so I should probably do that. So I'll just go ahead and do all that. Not enough coins. What am I doing? And then, I don't know, someone can tell me who I should be fighting over stuff here, but...
Logos.
Logos!
No, I think you still lose anyway. Or do you? No, actually, I think you might.
No, dwarves are pretty doing decently as well. Anyway, we'll see.
We'll see. All right.
It was between me and Aaron. 1 point you beat me by on the last spot.
Wow. 4 cult win on water.
A few comments here from chat. This water cult win is pretty ridiculous. Yes, I am a lazy cult player, and this is how I like playing cults, is making as little effort as possible. Although this is bizarre. I don't think I've ever been this lazy. Someone needs to show Bizzle this is why we take 3 spots. Yep. Yeah, and yeah, well, anyhow, that's you talking, Mertz.
Yep.
Looks like I win the game.
Yeah, witches win. Witches win by quite a bit, and then it's pretty tight by second and fourth.
Yeah.
I'm pretty amazed that I win the game with witches. It's been a while since I've done that.
I mean, there was no disruption whatsoever, right?
Yeah, I was fine. I secured my hexes right from... This is the plan with Tempship.
Yeah.
Like, that was always the plan. Just get my hexes and pass for the dwelling points as often as I could, and my 2 towns. That was.
I think that the only thing really differently, other than starting spots for Darklings, would be digging that H6. That way I beat dwarves.
There was a point in round 1 where I thought you would hard convert like 5 power for the dig on G6 for the priest, because you were like sitting at 0.57 power, I think. I thought you would just convert 5 power to a priest and just grab G6 in the first round.
I didn't consider that.
So Logos, after, if I can just ask real quick, I mean, you like coming in second here, after all your griping about it being a terrible game for you, what was it that turned it around as like a second place here? Because like I think the attitude was like, yeah, well, I'm screwed. This is 4th place, that kind of thing. I think people in chat were thinking Fakirs were not doing so hot. What was it? Did we just sort of have that wrong, like in our sort of estimation, or did something actually happen in the game that swung it a little bit in your favor? Were there any particular like breaks or anything that happened?
Stronghold.
Stronghold. All right.
No,
So it's settled.
Well, first, for starters, I started at 30. So if you consider like without auction, I only scored 121. Right? That's really low. That's really bad. A bad score. If you look at the earned VPs, I earned it. Only Aaron was able to earn less VPs than me, but that was because you had witches and you're gray, right? So you are also in a bad VP.
Yeah.
We both scored really low. Like total VP was 113 for me and 111 for dwarves. So it's not that we did a good game. It's just that we had a huge head start on VP.
Right.
We both had a really bad game.
Right.
I think it killed both H6 and like E3, and that would have really hurt both of you guys and like get second that way. Which there was nothing I could do to catch up to witches after that round 1.
Yeah, my round one was pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think killing H6 and perhaps E3, because E3 gives him access to both H1 and B1, and I think I could have done something about that. Although E3 did give me the leech I needed to outlast witches.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not 100% sure, but at the very least, killing H6, maybe I get some network, like 6 points network, and I beat Fakirs through that as well. So just killing H6 might have done it for me to get second.
So back to the question, Aaron. The compensation I got was that I got to go up and get leech from witches, which never happens in a Fakirs game, a normal Fakirs game. But that was compensation, right? I got a lot of leech during the game.
Right.
Power gain and structure 31, not as much as you guys. Actually, it's around the first. But
are you're looking at the power gain?
Yeah, I'm looking at the power. Witches got 32, I got 31, and dwarves got 32. So Fakirs usually does not get that much power.
Right.
They are usually secluded in the west, which is why Air 2 is so good for them.
Right.
And so that power kind of saved me, right? Because they have a huge scoring potential with the priest, but they usually don't get the spots to do that or the space to do that.
Right.
Which is why the motor was interesting here. It hurt me in the beginning, but the track was decent because they usually like to fly later, right?
Later.
Yeah, round 5, round 6.
Yeah, the town, the track was pretty good for a tall strategy here from.
Yeah, I didn't love it because, well, you saw I got hurt a lot by actions and the G2. Yeah, the G2 was a really bad move by me, leaving that for the priest.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Anyone in the chat have any questions for any of the players here, or any thoughts on what worked, what didn't work well? Just as we're sort of wrapping up and chatting, if you have any questions, just post them in the chat, and I'd be happy to sort of dig into them really quickly. Just wanted to take a look quickly at the at some of the stats, just to see if there's anything interesting we can extract from here. Looking at just the power actions here. So 7 coin action. Everyone got at least 1, and then witches and darklings each got 2 7 coin actions. So this was I do find when I play dwarves, I often play more of a coin heavy game. And I sort of took that advice that was in chat earlier about, like, intuitively I would normally just snap up those coins round 2, but instead I took the spades. Doug, your Hex, Logus, it was a bit of a different change for me. Usually I find with dwarves, and I often build a trading post probably earlier than a lot of people would normally, which I think is probably a mistake. But overall, I found my game was like a lot more coin tight than I normally would expect with dwarves. Now, mind you, the earth coins weren't in the game, and it was a low coin game overall. But that was just interesting for me as dwarves to sort of play a game where I didn't always feel like I had access to coins, and I did only get 1 7 coin action. Only a single spade action was taken in the game, and that was by you, Danny. Was that round 1?
Yeah. I stand by that move instead of round action 6. I think getting the priest and single spade
Right, that was your round 1
instead of
dig.
the double dig is better for me because I was allowed to get another extra dwelling,
Right,
which wouldn't have happened if I took action 6. I think.
right, right. Yeah, for sure. Um, there was just a comment in the chat. Could you explain what people mean by dig bomb dwarves? Who wants to tackle that?
Oh, I can tackle that.
All right.
Dig bomb dwarves is when you accumulate workers, and usually with a stronghold, you advance dig and you just tunnel just for the dig. You don't actually place a dwelling; you just score the tunnel. Like so, you're converting 2 workers for 4 VP. You need some pretty decent code, like for workers on like round 5 or round 4 to pull that off.
Right.
It's usually good when you're in these kind of situations, right? When you have witches and you can't connect, so you need some way to score,
Right.
and it can do pretty fine in some situations like that.
Now, when you're doing dig bombing,
you don't want to.
Sorry, go ahead, Danny.
No, I was just saying to the point that if you maybe you expand all your dwellings and you don't have any more space to expand,
right.
and you don't want to build trading post because it's not efficient for you or whatever, then that's another way to spend your economy. Instead of building like 3 or 4 trading posts, you use that money to upgrade your digs twice, and then all these workers that you're not spending on TPs, while you're just getting the income through your dwellings that are only on the map, and so you can just after convert those 2 workers to 4 VPs.
Now, when people often do dig bombing, if I could just ask quickly, I'm curious here. I assume it normally means like you're upgrading your digs fully, so you're digging hexes for 1. But I would also assume that most of the time, unless you have a really explosive game, if you're upgrading your digs, you're probably also not getting your stronghold out. Is that correct? Like you can probably you're doing 2 worker tunnels.
Strong and upgrade digs for dig bombing, and you can also combine, like especially if there's like a round 6 dwelling and you have earth 1. Like something I like to do is I dig it once to gray, and then I build on it next, because then what you're doing is you get 2 coins and 2 workers for 8 points, which is huge.
Right, totally.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty neat.
Cool.
Same thing for fakirs is that like when you place a dwelling in a dwelling round and you're flying, is also 8 VP for each dwelling you place, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Any last thoughts for any of you guys before we wrap things up?
Ryan was talking about the 3 spot priest. Yeah, but maybe prioritize your yellows. They all are better than the 3 spot.
Yeah, no, of course. According to if you're playing fakirs, you don't want to. I mean, there are some on water, which is a cult that here gives you nothing in return except for.
Yeah, for sure. I think Rainier's comment was just about people taking 3 spots in general, not that fakir should have taken the 3 spot, or that any faction. But yeah, just the power of 3 spots. I think
sometimes can be correct, like to if you have a choice between a 2 spot that gives you another worker maybe, or 2 coins, or a 3 spot that can pre-cement your lead in that cult. I mean, sometimes I guess it's worth it to go for the 3 spot.
I found myself I used to rush 3 spots a little bit too much, and so it's always a question on cults. Like, do you put your priests in cults where you think you're going to get the best economy, but the points are kind of sketchy, or do you sort of send a priest to a 3 spot on a less competitive cult that's getting you almost nothing, but it's a bunch of points? And I used to do the latter quite a bit more. I think in this game I got lucky because it was exactly the sweet spot. It was, I forget exactly when that priest went to water, but it was late into the game where my economy had already done its thing, and so it was fine to just convert a priest into, I wasn't trying to get workers or another dig or anything like that out of the cults. And so I was able to wait. But I think this was really lucky. Usually someone would take it before that. Usually sort of have to pick between economy on the cults and getting tempo to win it. And I think in this case I was sort of able to just like stuff my priests to earth to get the spades, do some early passes, which I needed to do, sort of wait until the very bitter end, and then still get the 3 spot on the non-competitive cult and win it. So I think this was kind of just one of those like lucky break kind of things.
1 priest for 8 VP is one hell of a conversion.
Yeah, it's an incredible point conversion. Cool. Well, I just want to thank you guys for doing this. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. It would be awesome to have you guys back another time if you're up for it.
Yeah,
And
with pleasure.
thanks to everyone who stuck around to the bitter end and to hear us rant on and more about the game. Really appreciate people providing their thoughts and insight in the chat and asking questions and hanging out. It was really cool. I just wanted to pitch it out to people. If anyone is interested in doing this, like the idea is like this is pretty open. People can just sort of jump in to these games if they want to. I'm not planning any sort of regular schedule yet. I'm not that organized of a streamer. I'm just sort of trying to get into this kind of thing. But if anyone is interested, you know, you don't have to be an expert or anything like that. Like if you're just interested in jumping into a game and talking through it, let me know. It's pretty easy to find me on BGA. Just send me a DM there. It's probably the best way to get in touch with me. And then also there's an F2O game tomorrow. That's correct, guys? Someone help me out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What time is that? Is that at 1 Eastern?
It's at 1 Eastern.
Okay, so definitely check that out. I'm sure lots of you will probably be there anyhow, but if for some reason you haven't caught Fire 2 Open, it's probably the best content that you're going to find. It's an incredible tournament organized by Bizzle and the community is doing an amazing job with it. It's really, really stellar. It's got some awesome players, so please check that out tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. And thanks, yeah, Danny just tossed the link to that, which is also on Twitch. So hope to see you there. And that's it. Thanks to everyone so much for tuning in, and hope to catch you on the next one. And bye for now.
Yeah. Thank you.
See y'all.